Welcome back to This Ain't Sunday School, and we're going to skip past the intro and get right into this Bible drama. Today's video will be in reference to 2 Kings chapter 5, and this is the story of Naaman. Naaman was a man who held great power as a leader in the Aramim army. He was respected and everybody was scared of him. But he was plagued with a skin disease, and this disease caused him physical and social distress. Anybody who had this skin disease had to wear raggedy clothes, and if you got too close to anybody, they would basically tell you to back up. This disease was called leprosy. Leprosy was the worst skin disease you can get back then. Your skin would get like patchy, crusty, and numb. Basically, it was like your body's way of saying like, I quit. And back then, people thought it was super contagious, and if you had it, you basically got kicked out everywhere you went. Like, nobody was messing with you. They felt like you were unclean. But now today we know that it's caused by a little bacterial infection, and it actually can be cured with medication. But back then, if you had leprosy, you was down bad. And like I said, now we see why this caused him social distress. Now, this story is around the time where the kingdom of Aram and the Israelites were in this like continual conflict. Like they was beefing real bad. So one day, Naaman's wife's servant comes to tell him about this prophet over in Samaria named Elisha who can heal him. Now, any other time, Naaman would have disregarded this information. First of all, because the source is unreliable. Like back then, like if you were like of like a poor status, nobody cared about nothing that you had to say. Like nothing you said was valid. And two, it was coming from an Israelite. And like I stated before, the Aramins was beefing with the Israelites, and they went and captured the young girl from Israel and kept her as Naaman's wife's servant. But Naaman was desperate, so he chose to be open to the possibility of healing, and he goes to King Aram and asks for permission to leave to go to Israel to find Elisha. So the king of Aram sends him with a letter to the king of Israel as a means of peace. And the letter basically said, with this letter, I'm sending my servant Naaman to you so that you may cure him of his leprosy. So Naaman heads to Israel. He's on his horse with he got his two servants with him. And he has 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and then 10 sets of clothing. Now, when the king of Israel reads this letter, he gets pissed. Like, he starts tearing off his robes, thinking that Naaman's arrival was hostile. Like, he ready to fight. He's talking about cure him of his leprosy. What am I, God? Like, I think he trying me right now. The whole time, it's not even that deep. So the prophet Elisha, he hears about this, and he confused why the king is mad. And he like, why are you tearing off your robes? Just send the man to me, and he will know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman pulls up to Elisha's house, and when he gets there, he is met by Gehazi. Gehazi is Elisha's servant. Gehazi gives Naaman specific directions from Elisha. He tells him to go and take 7 baths in the Jordan River, and he will be cured. That didn't do nothing but piss Naaman off. Like, he is so confused. He's like, first of all, why would he send a servant to come and greet me? Like, he couldn't treat me with a little bit more respect and come and greet me himself. And then the Jordan, like, what's so special about the Jordan? I could have bathed in one of the rivers in Syria. Like, I don't get what's so special about the Jordan River. And then 7 baths, like, that's ridiculous. And furthermore, why couldn't he just have laid his hands on me and called out to God for me to be cured? I'm so confused. So Naaman's servants just sitting back listening to him vent, and they like, okay, as crazy as it sounds, wouldn't you being completely healed be worth taking the 7 baths in the river? And as mad as he was, and as bad as he wanted to just say, forget it, he ended up following the instructions and going to the Jordan River. And he followed Elisha's instructions. And after the 7th bath, Naaman's skin is healed completely. It says his flesh was restored and became clean like that of a young boy. So God gave him brand new skin. He's like, oh my goodness, I gotta pay this man. So he goes back to Elisha's house and he offers him the silver, gold, and the sets of clothing that he had brought with him. But Elisha is like, as sure as the God is alive that I serve every day, I'm not taking a single thing from you. Basically, you can keep your money, I'm good. And then Naaman is like, all right then, since you won't take the gifts, at least let me scoop up some dirt from this land. Because from now on, I'm done making offerings to any other God but the Lord. But then he thought about it. He like, wait, hold on. It's just one thing I got to ask for forgiveness for. When my boss goes into the temple of Rimmon, a.k.a. his fake God, and leans on me, I kind of got to bow down to him, even though I don't mean it. I just hope God knows my heart and doesn't hold that against me. Elijah was cool about it. He like, all right, go in peace. And so Naaman left. And Elisha's servant Gehazi was ear hustling. And he like, man, what? He let him off way too easy. Naaman just walked off with all that silver and stuff. No, I'm not about to let that slide. His hating self is like, Naaman pulled up with bags of silver and outfits like he going on tour, and we just let him leave with that stuff? Man, what? I'm about to go catch up with him. Like, he literally ran after Naaman. And when Naaman saw that he was coming, he like, is everything all right? Like, you cool? And Gehazi like, oh yeah, everything cool. My master Elisha just got a surprise visit from 2 prophets in training. And he was wondering if you still had a little silver and maybe some outfits for him. Naaman was like, oh, heck yeah. Matter of fact, take 2 talents of silver. And actually, I'll send my servants with you to carry it because it's heavy. So Gehazi took the stuff and stashed it somewhere in the house. Then he dismissed the servants like nothing happened. So he goes before Elisha, and Elisha is like, where you been at? And Gehazi, lying again, he like, nowhere. And Elisha is like, you think I ain't see you when you ran up on Naaman and asked him for that stuff? And you think this is the time to be snatching silver and clothes from people? You just ruined your whole legacy. He like, the leprosy that Naaman was healed from, that's yours now. Not just for you, your descendants too. Gehazi walked away white as snow, leprosy all over him. And that is 2 Kings chapter 5. Naaman pulled up with leprosy and a whole lot of pride, but he left clean, humble, and a believer of one true God. And just like Naaman, none of us are perfect. When things go against what we're expecting, we might be easily frustrated and become closed-minded. But Gehazi let greed catch him slipping and ended up cursed. So yeah, miracles are real, and so is accountability. So don't play with God, and definitely don't play with yourself. I will see y'all on the next episode.